Hi guys, welcome to the Natural Birth Show. I'm Rachel Manns, and today I'm going to give you show you two different exercises that are really going to help your body during your pregnancy and possibly your labor. It's going to help to balance out your body a little bit so everything's nicely aligned and you can hopefully have the most comfortable and easy pregnancy and labor possible. This episode goes along with an episode of my podcast, The Natural Birth Talk, where I give you 6 tips for body balancing. And then I have a whole slew of exercises that I teach everyone who purchases my Natural Childbirth Ed course. And you can go to thenaturalbirthsite.com in order to purchase that if you decide you're interested in learning more. Before we get started, though, I want to tell you that none of this is medical advice. You should always do your own research and talk to the proper care provider before making choices for yourself. So, I'm first going to teach you what's called the forward leaning inversion. It was developed by Carol Phillips, who is a really awesome chiropractor. And my sweet kiddo Camden right there. He's 10 and he's really awesome. He's going to help be my support person. And he's such a good support person that he caught his baby sister like a year and a half ago and it was amazing. Yeah, he's so cool. But that is a story for a different time. So we'll get started on this forward leaning inversion now. All right. Ready, support person? Camden. All right, so here he is, and actually let's do it this way. Okay, here he is. And so this forward leaning inversion is going to help untwist all of our ligaments that are attached to our uterus that may cause our uterus to twist or get kind of almost become too small, and the baby, it's going to take the baby's space if our ligaments are twisted. So I'm going to turn you upside down, and that stretches out the ligaments, and then we're going to come back nice and tall like this, and that's going to put the ligaments back into place the right way, and it's going to give plenty of room for baby, and that's our goal here. So you start here. My knees are about hand width or more from the edge. This is our starting point, and this will be our ending point. And then we're going to go down one hand at a time and one elbow at a time, okay? One hand at a time and one elbow at a time. And then once we're down here, I'm going to tuck my chin. And I'm going to stay here about 3 to 4 deep breaths, 30 to 45 seconds. For time's sake, I won't stay down that long. Support person. And then I'm going to come back up the same way I came down, one elbow and one hand at a time, and then back to this starting point, remember? So we're right here, and then I'm going to come up nice and tall and take 3 to 4 deep breaths here, about 30 to 45 seconds here as well. And when I'm finished, and again, for time's sake, I won't spend that much time here, but when I'm finished, I'm going to put my knees together and kick off to the side like a mermaid. If you have high blood pressure, have had any recent eye surgeries, or are currently having a lot of heartburn or are fall risk, then you may not want to do this exercise. So be aware of that. If your heartburn goes away later in the day, then this exercise is totally fine. We just don't want to make your heartburn worse, and that's the point of that. This can also help. So this helps with breech babies. That exercise can help with breech babies. It can help loosen up some round ligament pain. It can also help you to breathe a little better by helping baby to have the space to drop a little lower, and then your lungs have a little more space. So forward leaning inversion has a lot of benefits, and it can be used during pregnancy and during your birthing time if you feel the need at any point. So that's that exercise. And now the second one I want to show you right now is called Windmills. And I think a lot of people are familiar with this, but I don't think a lot of people do it right, and I'll show you why. Thank you, Camden. Nope, a little too close. Thanks, buddy. It's okay, I appreciate it. So a lot of us can reach the ground when we bend, but look at how arched my back is. All right, that's a problem, because when we do windmills, we should only be bending at the hip. And when we bend at the hip, I can only go like half as far, right? But we only bend at the hip. We don't want to arch the back, and we want to have nice soft knees. We don't want to lock them up. So we have a chair or a bolster or something that we can support ourselves with, since bending at the hip's a lot harder than bending at the back. But you have to bend at the hip in order for this to work right and your sacrum to loosen up. So one hand here, and you just gently follow your hand back and follow your hand back. And you do it side to side. You can do it 10 times on each side. And you can do this multiple times a day. And you never want to have any pain. You just want to have a nice, gentle stretch. And this is going to give your hips and your pelvis and your sacrum, everything in there, it's going to give you a lot more mobility, a lot more flexibility. And that's going to give a baby a lot more space. And it's going to help you to have an easier birth when your pelvis is nice and mobile. So the forward leaning inversion, also, one thing with the forward leaning inversion is if that blood rushes to your head when you're upside down a lot, you can come back up sooner and as you do that exercise more, that reaction will go away. So we first had the forward leaning inversion, and then we had the windmills, and we learned how to do both of them properly. Again, if you want to learn any more about body balancing, making sure baby has plenty of space, check out the 6 Tips for Body Balancing podcast on the Natural Birth Talk, or check out my natural childbirth education course on the naturalbirthsite.com. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments or contact me. Thanks, guys.